What is going on, Movie Meals? It's been far too long. Kyle and I have been having immense issues posting videos. That's what we get for being poor, not big, and have no equipment whatsoever. So, do want to send our apologies from Movie Meals. We ended up actually, Kyle shot a bunch of Comic-Con trailers while I was on vacation. Those were unable to get up. They had tons and tons of issues. It came from a lot of Wi-Fi problems, and for the last week it's been going on. So I apologize immensely for that. But guys, as I gather my thoughts here, the next video to put out is Game of Thrones episode 3. So I wasn't able to put out an episode 2 one, but I did love that episode very much. I really like just about everything in it. I'm really loving everything this episode or this season has to offer. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So this is really fresh. I didn't have write any notes, so I'm just gonna kind of go off memory. And I got to talk about this one thing that this is all spoiler heavy, by the way. Watch this show, watch the episode before you watch this. So here's the thing: this show wipes away the hero's journey, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. This show is so good at saying, hey, Ned Stark's your hero. He kind of is the guy we're really, really following. He's the hero. Oh, he's done. Rob, his son, he's a hero. He's winning battles. He's winning every battle. He's done. Like, that's what the show's so good at, and that's what this show did again today. I'm going to start with the fact that Daenerys Targaryen is losing now. She's going into the next episode and the rest of the season losing. Jaime one-upped her, doing exactly, even says what Rob did to him. He works for him. They go get the money to pay the Iron Bank back. And they wipe out enemies. The Greyjoys bring them the gift. Their gifts, it's the Sand Snakes. They end up being tortured. I did call the Sand Snakes. I do think, I've been thinking for a while that I thought it would be the Sand Snakes to go. But I just love this episode. Cersei is 100% completely diabolical. She's evil. And she's just an incredible villain. I love the arc Jaime's going in. And the fact that they say, hey, why worry about Castle Rock? Like, they don't understand that Castle Rock's not as important as it used to be. Let's go take over. Let's get rid of Elena, and let's go get the money we need. And they did that, and I thought this episode ended. I'm going to talk about the ending first, guys. It ended so beautifully. Where finally we get to see this, where Jaime is, just the look on his face when she is saying to him, I'm the one who killed your son. I know it's your son. I killed him, and you can't do anything about it now because I'm already dead. And it's supposed to be a scene for Jaime. It's supposed to be Jaime's moment. Because we haven't seen Jaime really attack and do and fight so much. I mean, he's strategically winning battles. We haven't seen him like kill one of his enemies in a while. And she took the scene away. She won the scene by saying, I'm the reason your firstborn was dead, man. And I loved it. I loved the way the episode ended. We're just getting into battle after battle. They talk about where I think Daenerys has no choice. She's like, I got dragons. I only got a certain amount of men left. Let's just burn them. Maybe we should just go attack and not hesitate as much. Which I think is important because I think that the last thing that was said from Elena to Daenerys was, be a dragon. And it's time now. Dany's like, I've got to be a dragon. So I really love that whole thing, everything going on with the Lannisters. I thought they were smart. They were calculated. They're winning this war, and they should be losing. And that's, again, back to the hero's journey. Dany going into this season really felt like our main hero. This is the one who's going to take over Westeros, the one we want to take over Westeros. And she's losing because George R. R. Martin, the way the writers write the show, everyone comes together and says, let's not make it so easy for him. We can't. I mean, I know it's taken her so long to get here, but that doesn't mean everything's going to go just as Tyrion in episode 1 had planned, where he's like, we're going to do this, and this, and done. We're good. We're good to go. And I love that it didn't happen that way. But now we're going to talk about the beginning of the episode because I loved this intro. I love how we just immediately are like, well, Jon's here. And I love Jon. I'm repping a new T King in the North. I'm a huge fan of the Starks. The Starks is my favorite household. Jon, Rob, I love all the Starks. Even Rickon, even though he's not the smartest at zigzagging. Rickon. But I just love everything about the Starks, and I love that Jon is like, I'm not gonna bend the knee. I don't know you. You haven't proven to me that you're worthy of being for me to just be like, hey, you should be my queen. I'll just pledge my sword to you. Yeah, the whole North Shore is like. And I've been saying for a while, I think it's going to end up being where Danny. I get in arguments with my friends about this all the time. I do believe it's going to end up being where Jon goes, I'll help you, but you have to help me when we're done. And I think that's going to end up happening, especially now that she has no allies. And the Lannisters can't go to the north. They can't march up there, but they can march down south. They could go grab all the food they need. We saw a scene with Sansa talking about how they don't have enough food. Well, go in, invade Westeros, get the food you need, send it back, take tons of armies up north, get to Winterfell, and then defend the wall. I know the Night King's coming, and that's something that I'm curious about too. We don't know how far away the Night King actually is. Is he like a months away? Is he a year away? We're not entirely sure, but he is marching and he's coming fast. I think he's going to be a lot quicker than everybody thinks. And it's going to turn into an all-out war. I love the scenes between just Jon and Dany back and forth where she's like, well, I can't do this. Well, I can't do this. Well, I want you to do this. Well, I'm not going to do this. And I just love it. And then I love that there are so many beautiful shots in this episode, guys. Like, just really immensely beautiful shots. I love seeing just Dany watching her dragons and Jon just walking up to her on the steps and they're just talking. He's like, do you believe me or not? Like, you're letting me mine all this dragon glass. We did get a quick scene of Jorah being healed. Sam did heal him, and I love that because Jorah is one of my favorite characters. And to see Jorah continue to be healed from grayscale, at least temporarily, I do believe it's kind of temporary healing. And I really hope he didn't actually give, like, a dormant virus to Sam of grayscale, and then Sam ends up getting him. I do think right now he does not have grayscale. He is 100% cured, but I don't necessarily know if he's forever cured. Because I feel like really, honestly, if this was something that someone had figured out to do, that you could actually cure grayscale 100% this way in older people, it would be like the Maesters wouldn't be so against it. So I do think he is healed for now. I think going to Dragonstone will help. Getting the Dragon Glass, I think Dragon Glass is going to end up being that cure. I just love this episode, guys. It was a lot of politics. It was a lot less fights and a lot more talking. And it had some of the big sweeping shots from the trailers, which means that they were like, all right, let's give them most of the things we've seen, I think, in those trailers were from episodes 1 through 3, which means there's just so much left, guys. So much. These dragons are coming to Westeros and King's Landing, and they're ready for war. I cannot wait to see more. I kind of wish HBO would just drop the rest of the season like Netflix and just drop it all at once, because I'd be sitting for a whole day just binging. I wouldn't leave my room. It's where I would be watching Game of Thrones. Guys, I just love this episode. I just love the talking with Sir Davos jumping in, with Dany questioning when Sir Davos almost said, got stabbed in the heart because of his men. And Jon's like, no, let's not talk about that. Like, all this stuff is just like, even when Dany, I don't remember the exact quote, but Dany said a quote to him where he's like, I'm tired, man. I don't want to fight anymore. Like, you could just feel that. You can feel this Jon being so done with everything. He's so done with fighting, and he just wants peace now after everything that's happened and everything he's seen. And I just love the direction they're going, guys. I loved this episode. The only thing I thought was a little bit weird is just how intense Bran all of a sudden feels to me. Like, this doesn't feel like the Bran we've had, who's been arguing with everyone, and he's like, I can be the three. When he was with the Three-Eyed Raven, he's like, I can be the Three-Eyed Raven. Like, I'm not ready, but I want to keep learning. He was much more animated, whereas he just gets home and he's, hello, I'm the Three-Eyed Raven now. Like, that's a little weird to me. I think it should have been a little bit more open, where he's like, sure, I can't be the main guy in Winterfell, but let me tell you about my story. Like, he seems like he's a little bit too out there all of a sudden, and I can't wait for that Arya reunion. I can't wait to see them all. If all four of them can come together, I think it's just going to be an incredible moment, especially for someone like me who's such a huge fan of the Starks. And it's just, that was the only real kind of negative, or not even a negative, but something I was like not as pleased with as the rest of the episode. It's hard for me to find true negatives in this show. I mean, I've had a few in the past with certain storylines where just they didn't hit me as well as others have. And that's one. But right, you can still feel it, guys. This episode was again like, all right, everything's coming together. Now Jon's with Dany, but this happened. And it was a lot of quick, like, oh, they did this, and this, because we're getting ready for the big thing. I think we still have a few more episodes left. I think we have four left. Yeah, 4 left. And it's all coming to a big close, and I'm so excited to see next week, guys. I can't wait. So those are my initial right off the bat reactions. I know in episode 1 of this, I said I was going to try to post these, I think, on like Tuesday. Things completely changed and completely gone out the window with how Movie Meals has been working the last week or so. So, guys, we're going to try to get back on it and posting videos as quick as possible. I also got another episode of Welcome to the Cantina podcast that I will be dropping hopefully later this week. I finished a new Star Wars book I want to talk about some of the news that's come out of, or the lack of thereof didn't come out of, like Comic-Con and stuff like that at D23. So, guys, I'm going to, thanks for sticking with me as I've rambled and kind of done everything kind of off the cuff here and sporadic and with a little bit less preparation. But what did you think of this Game of Thrones episode? Please comment below, let us know, share this video around. Please hit that subscribe button while you're here as well. And hopefully Kyle and I can get back to being together again, and hopefully we'll have a movie review for you soon. So guys, as always, my mom, thanks for watching, even though she doesn't watch this show. Although I'll give a shout out to my mother, who hasn't watched who specifically watches Game of Thrones one from the last one I did. She doesn't know anything about the show. Does not watch it. But thanks for watching, Mom. You're killing it. And thanks, guys, for checking out this channel, checking out this video. So thanks, guys, and have a good one.